Okay, sorry about my phone being unsteady. I couldn't figure out how to record using the laptop, so let's get on to it. Radio Meteor Zoo is the project that we're working on. It pretty much identifies meteor echoes. It does so by using BRAMs, the Belgian radio meteor stations, and they're located in Belgium. So the purpose of this project, it involves citizen scientists to help and identify some meteor echoes manually. BRAMS detects meteorites that, sometimes can be over dense or under dense with regards to the data. I'll tell you a little bit more about what I'm talking about. And pretty much it uses collaborative data. So a lot of the volunteers who are citizen scientists input some of the information they have. Or pretty much we box in these meteor echoes, and overall, it gets sent back to the scientists or the professionals that have to deal with that. So, again, BRAMS is not the best at detecting these echoes. And we are trying to classify some meteor echoes here. The eye is the best way to detect them. So over here you could see some of the dark green lines and some dark, red lines. The red lines that are also on the outskirts, though, those are probably the ones that, some people identified as meteor echoes, but we have, narrowed it down to this being the exact meteor echo over here. And then the same thing goes for the rest of them. Some meteor echoes, are over dense, like this one over here, and some might be under dense, like, something over here that you could barely notice them. And then again, this was actually found using one of the articles that I, searched more into. So, what is the point? So, we want to know how many particles enter Earth's surface. So we do so by, monitoring the meteor activity. So an example over here that we have is a meteor shower by the name of Perseids. And then this was most likely one of the data that it could have collected. You see how there are so many different squiggly lines and different pretty much shapes. So when you see something like that, it most likely represents a meteor shower. Then with a meteor shower, it's easy to detect them, but sometimes we'll see some that aren't as easy. So our job is to identify some of these uneasy ones. So here are a couple of them. All of these are meteor echoes, and as you can see some of them being boxed in, and that was pretty much what we had to do. We had to box in the individual meteor echoes. I won't do it for all of them here, but here are a couple of them that were boxed in. And then so some of these, like this little tiny one on this side, is known as, probably an underdense meteor echo. When I say underdense, these are most likely small meteorites. And over here, you can actually see a little crooked horizontal line. This is most likely interference. What you'll want to see is most likely vertical. So, again, some of these shapes are squiggly, some are actually vertical, and some of them are underdense, so you could barely see them. So this is what we were most likely looking at with regards to our collections. And then if they're on the same vertical axis, we can actually, make it call it as one echo. And then this again over here is what we call an airplane interference. So over time, this is spanned in 5-minute intervals. And then vertically, we are looking at this in frequency. So, over time, the airplanes, frequency decreases because, it actually moves farther away from the stations. So why is what we do important? So again, it is collaborated work. So even if it's wrong, it's possible other people are most likely right. And this actually helps improve the BRAMS data. And a lot of the spectrograms, which are the images that we've been seeing, they do show a lot of underdanced um, echoes, which is most likely what we will definitely see, or most likely what we have seen in a lot of the collections. We don't get a lot of the overdance echoes, like the meteor showers. So what we're looking at is the ones that we can't really see, the ones that we can't see with our eyes, but definitely we can see it in an image like the spectrogram. And then manual input is dependent. So pretty much manual input, like us actually making the boxes, is important, especially in the BRAMS project, because it doesn't always detect the echoes correctly, or it could miss them. Okay, so over time you get the hang of it. It becomes easier. And sometimes you'll be boxing in some of the echoes, and it'll be too big, and you're trying to figure out if what you're boxing is even correct. But overall, the project was interesting, and it actually feels like you are doing some important work. And then again, it also is visually appealing. So the blue background, it just pretty much says that it's low power, and then it goes from green to yellow and then to red being the highest power. So the blue and the red and the green, yellow, the image of the spectrogram is actually quite appealing. So I did have some little bit problems, or not really problems. I wish that it could be a little bit better. So, the curved lines, there are a lot of curved lines you will see as you classify them. And then again, the curved lines are the airplanes that are passing by. And then there is the little underdense particles, and it's pretty hard to see. And then, sometimes it could be easily missed as well. And then I actually tried using the project on my phone, and it's not very mobile friendly. So you can't really use it on the phone without making the rectangles too big, too small, or you're just zooming in the images, or you're just zooming out of them. So why is this important? So we are actually making a difference. As you can see here, we are 99% complete. So that is pretty good. I remember about a month ago, we were about 70% complete. And that's a pretty big increase. And then as you can see here, there are over 435,000 classifications. I'm not sure if I mentioned it before, but there are 30 stations that are collecting this data at 5-minute intervals. So it is a lot of data to even get through. And it's important that we get through it. That way we can prevent any unknown particles from, pretty much undetectable particles from crossing the atmosphere of the earth without us even noticing it. And then this actually helps us notice it even quicker. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Sorry again about the me moving my phone too much. I really, if you guys are interested, you could also go more into